Hey, fellow devs, my name is Mott, that's M-O-T, and I'm the creator of dotenv. In this video, we're going to go through what happens when you run the pull command. Let's get started. I think the best way to show this is to actually go to the CLI tool, and we'll go to the service when we run this command. So npx.dotenv-vault pull to pull our latest .env file. That maps to under our source services pull service. So let's take a look at that. And we'll go down here to the run command. There's a few things that happen first. These mainly have to do with gitignore files. This also happens on push. So you might notice on push that your .gitignore got updated. That's to make sure your .env me credential was also ignored, but your .env vault was able to be committed to code, which it should be. And then we just check, is there a vault file? Okay, there is. Is there an env me file? If there isn't, try to log in the user. And then we get finally to the pull command. So the pull command here makes an HTTP call. It passes the environment. If this is null, which it is when I'm just running pull, that defaults to your main environment, which in most cases is development, but you can configure that inside of .env.org. Passes your vault value, so that gets pulled from your .env vault file. All right, so that gets read in on the pull command, and same for your .env me. The value there in your env me file gets read in on command when you run this pull command. And then we get a response of data on success, so we get the environment that it came from, we get the value of the .env, so everything repackaged up. We also get the vault data. We'll talk about that in later videos. That has to do with deploying to production. And we get an output file name. In most cases, that's just .env, but in certain cases, that needs to change depending if you're using our integration tokens, and there's some other use cases. So that comes in, and then we rename your current .env to .env.previous. That way, if you pulled and there was some mistake or something went wrong, you don't lose your prior .env file completely. It just gets moved to .env.previous. So you know you kind of have like an extra backup of safety there if that ever happens. And then finally, we write to the .env file with the value that came back from the API call. And we say, you're done, you're set. So let's run that. So we run pull. All right, so all that happened just there. And then in addition to that, so the actual API call is really the reverse of the push. So the push, in a prior video, we talked about all the steps it takes. The pull is the opposite. So it gets that key and that token. That token is used to grab your value in the vault store. The vault store value gets decrypted. The key value also gets decrypted. They get recombined. They get put in order based on instructions we have in the application database based on what you pushed, right? So everything gets re-put together and your file comes back. So quite a bit of steps just to store a .env file and pull it back, but in a way that keeps your secrets super safe. So we do the same thing on the way back for the pull. And that's pretty much it. That is .env pull. If I wanted to pull a different environment, I can run this, pull staging. And you'll see that pulled my staging file, right? Which doesn't have a value if I look at it right now. But let's put in a value, hello world, right? Now we can also push that. And I think that is push staging. Yes, we can take a look at that. Open staging. So you can see you can basically add environment to the end of most of these commands and it'll push and pull from that environment. Okay, there's our value. Let's add another one here. So database URL, I don't know, we'll do something like that. Save changes. And we'll run npx.dotenv-vault pull staging. And let's take a look. All right, the value is in there. And let's see if we got a backup value. So we also get a previous for the staging, right? So if you're managing multiple environments locally like this, which some dev teams like to do, others like to manage staging and production just on the UI, and they keep all the push and pull from the CLI just to development or their main. But if you do want to manage them this way, excuse me, this is a way you can do that. So that is the pull command in a nutshell. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.